Kay Murdy has a master's degree in religious studies from Mount St. Mary's College. She's a master catechist for the Los Angeles Archdiocese and a member of the Catholic Biblical Association. Kay is a co-founder and member of the teaching and coordinating team of the Catholic Bible Institute. It's co-sponsored by the Los Angeles Archdiocesan Office of Religious Education and Loyola Marymount University. She offers talks on scripture, prayer, and liturgical spirituality in parishes and retreat centers. Kay writes a monthly commentary on the Sunday readings for Ministry and Liturgy magazine. In addition, she's written 5 books on scripture and spirituality. Kay's website, dailywordoflife.com, offers daily commentaries on the weekday and Sunday readings. Kay has written her first novel, Song of the Dove, the story of Mary of Nazareth.
My mother told me that from the time I was a little girl, I always had a pencil in my hand. Either I was scribbling pictures or scratching out stories. My mother's sister, my Aunt Marie, was my role model, although I'm sure she never thought of herself that way. She was an unmarried woman who lived with us in those post-Depression days. She wanted to be an artist, but never realized her dream. But she taught me how to draw, or more importantly, how to see. Look at that tree over there, she would tell me. What colors do you see? Green, I would answer proudly. Look again, she would say. What other colors do you see? And as I looked closer, I was excited to discover a myriad of colors. There was yellow, brown, orange, purple, and even more. When my aunt died, I wanted one of her paintings, which I remembered seeing in my bedroom. It was a watercolor of Mary holding the infant Jesus in her arms and standing on a globe with a serpent under her feet. It was a peaceful picture, a sign of protection, that Mary would guard me from all evil, and it made me comfortable to have it. But as I grew older, Mary stayed on the wall, a painted figure from the dim past. Her many lofty titles, Blessed Virgin, Immaculate Conception, Queen of Angels, Queen of Heavens, Mother of God, and so forth, made her even more remote for me. For centuries, the influence of Mary in art in the great cathedrals in Europe, such as Notre Dame in Paris and the Vatican in Rome, has been evident. The great works of Raphael, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo remain an inspiration even today. Yet I often wondered, what was the flesh and blood Mary of Nazareth like? How would she speak to people today? And what sort of role model would she be? When I look at the role models girls and women are exposed to today, they're all related to fashion, to dating, to careers, to the fast-fading popularity of the world of entertainment and sports. And often these so-called role models are superficial and of questionable integrity, persistently ignoring the moral implications of womanhood. Psychologist Carl Jung maintained that Mary taught reverence for the sacredness of each person. It makes one wonder that if our culture had such sense of respect, would we have less violence and aggression toward women today? Mary is a timeless role model for women of the 3rd millennium. The reality that Mary exemplifies is all-inclusive and transcends all time and cultures. A woman of any social setting can learn from Mary what it is to be a woman, what is the image that we should display, like Mary, called to cooperate in the healing of the world. And in doing so, we're able to receive and transmit natural and even supernatural life. Mary did so in a selfless way, always receptive to her calling and mission. And Mary is the paradigm of a truly liberated woman, a woman who freely embraces her own calling and knows herself beloved by God, and as it says in the scriptures, by all generations. It is so incredible to me to think that while no other woman has ever dominated the scene of history so much as Mary, holding a fascination for both Catholics and non-Catholics, and even non-Christians. So little is written of her personal journey as a woman, with the same hopes and the same dreams for herself and her loved ones that we have today. In telling the story of Mary of Nazareth, I chose the title Song of the Dove for three reasons. First, the dove is an important symbol in the Bible, especially in the Song of Songs. Second, the dove is an image of peace, of gentleness and sacrifice like Mary. And third, the Song of the Dove is mournful, full of longing, yet inspiring faith and trust for the future. In writing the Song of the Dove, it is my intention to present Mary in a way that will bypass the sentimental portraits of her that have accumulated through the ages, and enable contemporary believers to encounter her in their own world. Mary is a complex figure who, like her son, shares our humanity. She cannot be captured in any single image. She was a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother, and a widow. She was a poor woman, a refugee, often homeless, a woman who grew old and yet remained an important influence in the early church as both prophet and mystic. Mary was a woman of joy at the Nativity, a woman of sorrow at the cross. In her old age, she is a sign of hope to what we might become. Although I have made every effort to present an historical event accurately, this is a novel, not a history book. Just as good storytellers and poets and painters translate deep perceptions into verbal or visual forms that move us, my intention is to move you, the reader, to take another look at Mary. I have endeavored to be faithful to my Aunt Marie's artistic vision. What do you see? And paint her with as many of the colors that I have available on my palette. My hope is that the story of Mary of Nazareth will be a prism to illuminate the lives of both women and men today.